My friends, welcome to Talk Casual. Tonight we're broadcasting all over the Outer Rim this evening, and we have a special guest on today, none other than Task Force Orange himself, LTD. Say hello, David.
Hi, I'm Jim.
Jim? I got the wrong guy. Let's see if we can get the right guy. Wait, do we have David on there?
Yeah, g'day, Mars. It's John Howard here.
Oh, little Johnny!
It's time to be playing Armada, and I think that the people of Australia don't play Armada the same. I'm here as well, Mars.
Fantastic! There we are. There we have David. Fantastic. Thank you for joining us. And what are we talking about tonight, David? We're talking about
Uncle Raddus. Do it again, Uncle Raddus.
Oh yes.
Come and blow Scarif up one more time. Our new Australian tournament. We've got 22 players signed up, and we're just going to have a quick run through the list tonight and speculate and talk about how wonderful or otherwise they might be.
Fantastic. Awesome sauce. All right, let's get the list up.
Yeah.
All right, they're up there.
To you.
Yep.
And he's against Nash S. So I don't know Nash S, but let's run through Luke first of all.
Oh, we're going through okay, I had the Task Force Orange website up with Trash's list at the moment. So Trash
we'll restart it because it should be updated to have level 1 and game 1 and level 2.
Yep. I've updated it now. Yep, all good. Refresh.
So yeah, I put it in order of the game so we could actually talk about the players who are facing stuff like that.
Fantastic.
Okay,
go ahead, sir.
So Luke is flying.
Whoop.
MC-80 assault cruiser, Defiance, of course.
Yep.
He's got 4 activations, which never used to be enough, but with 1.5, maybe it is now.
It is, yes.
He's got 1 VCX, Bigs, Jan, some X Wings. So not heavy squads, only 4 activations, but Akbar, I think it's a pretty scary looking list, but only 399, and I think that's the trouble with this one. You want to bid for second if you are fish farming, because you want a fish farm.
Yeah, Luke's an Imperial player, so he's giving the Rebels a bit of a try, I think. So he's mostly Imperial player. He does have he does dabble into Rebels. So so that's probably the reason why he's probably gone for the. Maybe he's not he's interested in the first or second, but these days a lot of people do choose to be second play if they've got the bid.
Yeah. And the name of his fleet is Rebel Scum Done Right.
Yeah.
The thing I'd say is, Luke, if you're gonna fish farm, you need more than 1 VCX. It'll be interesting to see what your objectives are there, Luke.
Absolutely. But it's still a solid list and very, very interesting list to definitely don't want to.
He's up against.
Oh, broke up a sec there. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, and he's up against Nash S.
Yes.
Who's flying some sort of separatist list. So I'll say off the bat, I still don't know what all the separatist and Republic stuff does.
Yep.
Generally, I rely on my opponent to tell me as we play the game what the things are, because I have no interest in buying them or reading the card.
Yeah. So TF 1726 gives you the black dice if you have raid tokens. So yeah, he's got a recusant with.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yes. So it's basically. What is it? What's Sato? It's almost like a Sato thing, but you just instead of
you have to sabotage them first.
Correct. Yeah. So that's what the B2 rocket troopers do. They'll give you raid tokens with the hard cells, and of course Patriot Fist and Recusant making the charge there. So a little bit interesting. It was kind of my list that I did in the last tournament, and I'm not going to talk about that because I came last. But let's keep out of that. So it's almost a little bit like mine, but just a little bit of changes here and there. But no squadrons again. That's where I kind of struggled. Anytime I got against a squadron fleet, I basically got murdered. So
yes. And I'd just say the name of the tournament is Do It Again, Uncle Raddus. And if you're not bringing squadrons to help limit the effects of Raddus, well, you're in a world of hurt.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for this fellow's got a big bid, 10 points. So he's one of the 2 scary looking. Guard, but he might be bidding for second.
Yes.
He wants to do the sabotage effects.
Yeah, so Nash is one of our Outer Rim players. He's fairly new to Armada, so good luck to him, I'd say.
Good luck. Yes. All right, let's go on to table 2.
Sure.
We've got Thomas Blyde with his list Vader's Day Out. He's got a Quasar, he's got a Kaimoon, and a Raider, and a Gazanti, and 99 points of squadrons.
Nice.
Marek Steel and Major Rhymer.
Oh, Busterama. Interesting, very interesting. Darth Vader is, it's interesting. He's put the Darth Vader squadron. It's probably the least used Darth Vader. Usually, everyone puts the Darth Vader officer.
Yes.
But yeah,
it's an interesting list. Not full squadrons, not heavy ship. And the Raider is naked, so it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah. No Corvus or anything like that. Like a lifeboat Raider, just straight off Crater. So yeah,
What's your Admiral on it?
The Admiral Ozzel. So change speed, yes. which is look, I love new Ozzel 1.5 Ozzel. It's just basically it's like almost like a not a newbie commander like what's his name not Modi. Yeah, Modi. That's it, Modi. Yeah, he's also like he could be used like a new commander if you're having issues with speed. You can Ozzel's probably the best one to use, but Modi is also a good commander start for those people starting.
You want to navigate. You want to navigate because you want to have the extra click of yaw.
Yeah, true. But like say, look with a Raider 1, if you got a nav and Ozzel, you can go from 1 to 3. So yeah. That's a good thing, and it's same with the AEST, the Simoon. It can go from 1 to 3 with Ozzel and a command token or dial. So,
yes, I guess so. Anyway, interesting list up against Chris Reynolds.
Yep,
he's another fellow playing Raddus, so he's got the idea of the tournament.
Yeah.
Well done. He's got an armored cruiser with Profundity. He's got a Corvette A with Raddus and Ramus Antilles for some reason, and a 10 TV4. And another Corvette with Janus Light, and a transport with Torrent Fire and Bomber Command Centers and things, and then 65 points of squadrons. 6-point bid.
Nice little small little squadron ball there. Definitely Biggs and X Wings and Nim as well. Nim is a little spicy Havoc, the Skirg bomber that takes away your defense tokens.
Yeah. Yes. I'm wondering what he's going to drop out of the Profundity, presumably the Corvette. Although he might drop the transport out to have the bomber command, but he doesn't have reinforced. Rapid launch bay? So one of the Corvettes. I'm wondering what Ramus Antilles is doing on that Corvette A. He's an expensive officer.
Yeah.
On a little Corvette, and the Corvette wants to be navigate. I guess he's got the 10 TV, so he can pass the token on to someone else.
I see. Yeah. You don't see a lot of Tantive 5 titles. It's usually Janus Light, and that's really it. So,
yes. Well, Janus Light is the greatest upgrade in the game.
I for 2 points, I agree. Totally agree on that one. And I'm not a Rebel Jank player, and I totally agree with that one.
Let's compare the two fleets. So the Raddus versus the Ozzel. Well, I think the Raddus, he can bid for first. He can drop his big ship on top of the Quasar, kill it, and run away.
Yeah.
And depending on where the Imperial squadrons go. So I put my money on the Raddus because it's Do It Again, Uncle Raddus is the name of the game. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, it just depends on it really depends on the player, really, how they play Raddus, as you said.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it's I totally agree. He probably would do that, but sometimes some people can be aggressive with their Raddus bombs sometimes, and if the actual Corvette gets blown up or something like that, it's game over Red Rover. But I totally agree. Look, I wouldn't discourage the Imperial list as well. It has the Quasar. It's going to push all those squadrons, and especially with Major Rhymer, Darth Vader, Marek Jendon. Yeah, it's a very nasty list. If it pounces on the drop ship quickly and fast, you never know. But I'd say highly it favors more the Raddus drop player. All right.
Everything else. But yes, carry on. Table 3.
Yes.
Ash, with Trash.
Trash. Pure trash.
Playing Rebels, playing Dodonna. He's got a Corvette, a Scout Frigate, a Hammerhead, another Hammerhead, and another Hammerhead.
That's
Four
that
YTs.
that's trash. That is trash. he I'll build you a backstory with Trash. Trash always builds so many, like he's mostly an X-Wing player. He builds about so many X-Wing lists, and he has about 2 or 3 when it comes to tournament. Can't decide what to bring. Again, same for Armada. He builds all these Armada lists, makes these great ideas, hence why we call him Trash. He just comes up with all these trash lists, and on the day he'll come with 2 or 3, and then he'll just flip a coin and say, right, I'm playing this one. But Trash, his signature ship is the Hammerhead. It's simple as that. He loves his Hammerhead Corvettes, he knows how to play them well.
Yeah, okay. With slave turrets and task force Antilles.
Very nice, and of course, a McFurdy. Of course, and of course a CR90A, just automatic stamp TRC Janus Light.
Yes. Yeah.
Auto include, basically.
With a bit of 1 point. And he's up against one of the pride of the North Coast of New South Wales.
Yes.
Kid, Beefcake 4000.
Yes.
He's a veteran player. He's been to Nationals. He knows what he's about. I don't think he's been playing recently, but he's starting to get back into it.
Yes.
And he's playing a classic shit up the side list, basically. So side frigate, intel officer. So there's going to be the battle of the intel officers on that side.
Yeah.
Corvette A, and a scout frigate with Lando and Foresight, and a GR-75 to push some squads, and he's got 23 point squads, including some rogues. So it's going to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah,
he's got a bid of 9 points. So Steve's got a good bid. So he gets to choose first or second. And depending on what his objectives are, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, this is the first match for tonight, and we'll be streaming that match straight after this. So it should be a very interesting match. Definitely, I know Steve from Nationals. I did meet him in Queensland Nationals back in the day. Very experienced player. Trash is a really good Armada player as well. So this will be a very good tussle between the two. Can't really pick them out at the moment.
Yeah. I think it depends what their objectives lying behind them are.
Yeah.
But even so, even looking at the Akbar list, I'm wondering what on their ambush, maybe a contested outpost and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe he's planning to defend a corner or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, interesting.
Absolutely.
Not out tonight. All right, table 4. Jared J-Rocks is one of the most experienced New Zealand players.
Okay.
Played against him in the Auckland tournament some years ago.
And welcome to our New Zealander friends, and thank you for joining this tournament.
Yes, I'll translate that for you now. So, welcome to our New Zealand friends.
Welcome, New Zealand, cuz.
Yes, cuz. Hello, cuz. Welcome across the welcome to the West Island. Yes. Yes, my sister-in-law moved over here from New Zealand, and I said to her, "How old were you when you moved?" And she looked very embarrassed and said, "I was 6." So, sucks. All right, very good. So enough of that mocking of our cousins.
No, we love our New Zealand friends.
We do love it. So yes, J-Rock is a good man. He's a lovely chap, and made me very feel welcome when I went over to play those years ago.
Awesome.
He's got a Grant victory one. How often do we see a victory one with Harrow and engine? So that's a fun little thing right there.
Yeah, it's two big ships and one medium-sized ship.
Yeah, and 4 little TIE squadrons, which are like hors d'oeuvres. That's delicious to eat. All right, and a bit of 8 points. So he's either one to go first or second, and it's going to be cool. But he's called his list the Anti-Raddus Ramble. There's a bit of a challenge there, Jay.
I think so.
Later on, and we'll see how the Raddus comes against you. And he's up against Ophion, Mick. Again, one of our experienced TTS players, plays quite regularly.
Yes.
Played with us in the team one a few years ago. Sacrificial Emperor. So Ozzel's commander, and Palpatine's on an Imperial 2.
Yep.
A whole bunch of stuff. Relentless. There's an Architens, which the Admiral's on. Another Architens.
2 kittens, yeah.
And 105. But no, whatever that other guy's name is. The repeating guy.
Oh, Colonel Jendon.
Jendon. No Jendon. that's interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, absolutely. And I presume the Imperial 2 will be pushing as much squadrons as it can. Interesting, doesn't have any expanded hangar bays or boosted comms, so it's going to be interesting. It's probably just going to move the squadrons and let them do their own thing.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting list because for the squadrons it doesn't have a really dedicated squadron pusher. So,
Yes.
yeah, so it's like it's a bit of a bomber, bit of a squadron screen. It's a mixed bag. You just don't know what it really is. So that's a lot of points. Just not. It's like it's a hybrid of a squadron list, but not a squadron list. So
Yeah, maybe he's planning to throw the first lot and then in the next turn throw another lot, something like that.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting how this goes.
There to help guard the Emperor too.
Yeah,
it will be interesting. That's an interesting one. Again, objectives and all the rest of it. So Jared's got the bid in this game, and it's Imperials versus Imperials and 2 Star Destroyers versus 1. So I think you put the money on the 2 Star Destroyers myself, but who knows?
Well,
who knows?
That's the thing. I feel like Vic is going to throw his squadrons against, well, half of his squadrons to the TIE fighters and then his bombers onto whatever needs to be bombed. Probably the Victory. The Victory is easy pickings there. Once you keep...
You have to imagine that a Clyde and a Q-Act can take down an Imperial 2 pretty darn quick.
The Simon can do a fair amount of damage, but remember he's got Emperor Palpatine and then also flak guns and reactive gunnery, so he'll be salvoing a lot. And when if you get, and of course Emperor Palpatine, gets rid of tokens if you've been attacked. So exhausts tokens if you've been attacked. Yes. So flak guns will get. I think it's 2 blues and a red, so it'll give you all its dice at or whatever range at all ranges. So no, it doesn't matter have to be at long range. It'll be 3 dice right back at you.
Yep. And I just think from an experience point of view, I think Mick's probably got the experience of playing more recently.
Yeah.
I think Verock is just starting to get back into it again.
Yeah.
So I'm encouraging to build him up, but I'll probably put my money on the Australian rather than our cousins.
Again, an interesting match to see.
Yep.
Awesome. Let's move down.
Table forward. We've got Jarvis Collins. And his fleet's called Tractor Beam Me Up Scotty. He's got a Kirsta Gate. He's got a Starhawk Mark 1 with the Magnite Crystal Tractor Beam Array, which is the Beam Me Up Scotty thing.
Hence, yes.
Corvette A. James Light and Turbo Laser reroute circuits. Torpedo Frigate.
Yeah.
With Caitkin and Sholem. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. That's where you put ordnance experts. You don't need Caitkin and Sholem unless you're planning to shoot at long range with your red.
I presume that's why.
That would be my criticism of that. And medium transport, decked Avatar and Far, and 5 headhunters.
Interesting choice. Very interesting choice.
Again, beautiful hors d'oeuvres. They just go down a treat and prepare you for the main course. So
yeah.
And 5 of them. 5 of them. Oh, dear boy.
Not 6, not 4, 5.
No, 5. All right. So I would say drop Kate, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Just to make it an even number.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Jarvis. I hate Starhawks. They're a pain in the neck to kill.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
But in a list like this, where there's other things to kill, you don't even need to bother shooting at the Starhawk. You just kill the other things and run away.
Yeah, anytime you fly against a Starhawk, you either ignore it or go full guns for it. It's just that's all you can do with a Starhawk.
There's no half-heartedness, is there?
Yeah, that's it.
And now that they. All right, and the torpedo frigate doesn't have a title, so that's interesting too.
Yeah.
And XX9 turbo lasers. I've never seen that really work.
That's the 2 crits, isn't it? Is that the one? XS9.
I think so.
Yeah, I think at the top of my head, it's that one. You get 2 crits if you 2 face-up damage cards.
Yeah, with assault concussion missiles. So it seems contradictory.
Yeah, it does actually. Yeah, because you can only do 1 crit unless if you got what's the that the card that lets you do 2 crits at the one time, but I can't remember. Fire control team. That's the one.
Which I think you have to take instead of Kate Canachola. So.
Yeah. All right.
All right. He's up against Tony J. We don't have a list from Tony J. Tony's our last minute squeeze him in.
Yeah.
So we stuck him in there. He's taking the place of large package. So thank you to Mac for being our odd man.
Yeah.
Ready to stand in around.
We love our Canadian friends from across up in the northern hemisphere, especially Mac, who jumps in and helps us out.
Wrong. It's Candia.
Candia. Okay.
Candia.
The Canuts.
The Candian. All right. Table 6. John Fletcher. He says your shields don't concern me. Admiral Screed commands a Victory 1 with assault proton torpedoes. A Raider 1 with external racks. A Gladiator 1 with torpedoes, and a Gladiator 1 with assault proton torpedoes.
Wow.
And Demolisher. So that's a lot of assault proton torpedoes, which is presumably why our shields do not concern him.
Yeah.
We can guarantee those assault proton torpedoes going off.
Oh wow! I love this list. It's so wacky. Like it's not just one gladiator, 3.
3 gladiators.
Yeah.
They're stripped bare. They're stripped bare. I love it. I love it.
And aggressor assault fighters. Ooh, that's a lot of points. It's just not a lot of points, but it's just a lot of points on 2 squadrons. You know. I flew aggressors on one tournament and they just didn't work out for me. I know they're rogue and they've got, pretty dice, but it's just a lot of points for 2 squadrons.
I think, again, beautiful hors d'oeuvres for those of us who bring squadrons. So that'll be nice. But yeah, the Gladiator. 5-point bid, is that enough to guarantee the first so you can go first last? Yeah, probably not.
Probably not.
But the Demolisher will do his work and line up some it's not proton torpedoes. Yes, that will be interesting.
Again, Screed on a Victory 1 instead on the Corvus Raider. Using it as a lifeboat maybe could have done. You never know. But with external racks, he wants to attack by the looks of it. So he doesn't want to use it as a lifeboat. I'd say,
instead of that Victory 1, why not take 2 more Gladiators? You could do that. Get rid of those aggressors, take 2 more Gladiators, and just go all in on this activation.
That would be, absolutely. Because a Victory 1...
He's got some ideas. I love an MSU.
Yeah, but the Victory 1 without the Harrow title is just going to go speed 2 and let the Gladiators do the first work and then hopefully come and finish off. But I just don't think the Victory 1's just not got... It hasn't even got red dice rerolls, so it's just like... Yeah, it's a little bit out there, but hey, go ahead and try.
Against Uncle Raddus, I'm pretty sure that Victory 1 is going to blow to bits.
Yeah, before he even gets to Black Range, but let's...
If we see him at the later tables. Yeah. All right, so that's John Fletcher. He's up against Michael Borrell. I don't know that name either.
No.
So we've got some new players, which is good.
This is good.
To me anyway.
I love it.
It's great. A separatist team. So again, I think you can go through the new stuff.
Stuff. I don't know. So we've got a Providence carrier of Martook, Trinkers, Intensifier Firepower, Link Turbo Laser Towers, and Lucid Voice. And then we've got 4 hard cells with Spinal Armament. Wow. That is awesome. I love it. It's so those hard cells are basically throwing 4 reds. So no rerolls or anything like that, except that it's got Intensify Firepower, so they don't need a lot of rerolls. So, and of course, Martook as well gives you an extra red if they've got shields. So that's 5 reds out of a hard cell.
And presumably 6 if they concentrate.
Concentrate fire, yeah. So you're basically, it's a Simoon on a small base.
Yeah, it's 61 points in Simoon. Yeah. So you're averaging, 3/4 of a hit? So...
Yeah. Love it. I love it. Yeah. That's very nasty. It's the only problem is no squadrons. So if you do come up against a squadron ball, the hard cell battle refits do have blue-black AA, so it's not too bad. But you don't want to be focusing a lot of AA squadron, especially when you're firing, as I said, 6 red dice from the front.
Yeah, it's interesting that this it's not quite an MSU. It's an L MSU, I guess, large and
Yeah.
some medium and small units. So that'll be interesting. So John has got the bid here, 5 points to Michael's 0. I imagine he'll pick first and just go at him. And we're going to see some things blow up. But I imagine the victory is going to get shot to bits before it gets across the floor. But the gladiators are going to take out some of those hard cells in pretty short order. So I think it's 50-50 and split them. But I think my money is on the Imperials. That's what I know.
It just I think the opposite. I think the Separatists might have it here. The aggressors aren't going to do a lot here, and those red dice before they even get like against a victory. If they get first dibs on the victory, that victory is going to melt. But look. I could be wrong. It depends on the objective as well too. So who goes first, who goes second. But for me, I feel like the Martuk in the Separatist list is looks on top for me for now.
What speed do those battle refit, those hard cells do? Don't they speed 2?
They can go speed 3.
Oh, they can. Right.
Yeah. So they're like they're equivalent to like a Neb B in for Rebels.
Okay. All right, let's come down to table 7. We've got yourself, Mr. Banchero.
Yes.
Mariano Banchero. That's the New Zealand name right there, isn't it? Tell us about your list, man.
All right, so I've actually played this a couple of times. This is my Luminara tank build. So I've got a Venator 2 with expert shield techs, ordnance expert, flak guns, thermal shields, racks, towers, and tranquility title. Then I've got Acclimator 1 with a Luminara, flag bridge, boosted comms, Link Turbo Laser Towers, and Mercy Mission. Then a Consular Cruiser, and then a Consular Charger with TRC. Then we've got squadrons. We've got Ahsoka, Axe, Kickback, and Anakin. So basically, the Mercy Mission goes on the armed cruiser. He runs off and gets 40 points, hopefully. And the squadrons, they're named squadrons because it helps with Luminara's ability to refresh tokens on ships. So so that's why I've got all named squadrons, and they work pretty well actually. Anakin and Ahsoka work really well. So Ahsoka gives like a pseudo Colonel Jendon ability to actually attack twice, but only 2 blue dice, and against squadrons only. So it's a bit of whitewashed Colonel Jendon ability. So I enjoy it. It's a bit of fun. It's not going to win big victories, but it does needs what it needs to do. So, and of course, Tranquility is just goes well with Illuminara. So yeah.
And the thermal shields, do you think that's worth it in our meta?
It's mostly for Onagers, which is funny enough. We've only got 1 Onager, I think, in this tournament. So I play with the new stuff and I go with what I go. So because I've got a Luminara, I want to kind of because her ability only works if you only spend 0 and 1 tokens. So I want to be limited of how many tokens I spend. So of course, thermal shields does add to that. So I have to think of when do I want to spend thermal shields or not. So yeah, it's still a work in progress. And as I said, by the name, it's a Luma tank version 2. So this is the second version of this, and I'm always tinkering with less than ever a finished product, unless that I do well with them. So
okay, all right, and you're up against. And what's your bid? 3 points. We're up against a guy named Aaron.
Yes.
Flying another prequel list, but Separatists.
Yep, Martuk. So Martuk, high capacity ion on a Providence. High capacity ion turbines, Link Turbo Laser Towers, and invisible title. It gives them the defensive retrofit, and of course he puts EWS on that. Recusant, of course, with Patriot's Fist. Pascal Argento, very interesting choice. And of course hard cell with Link Turbo Laser Towers, and then we've got squadrons. We've got the plaque, that's the Tri-Fighter. We've got the a Vulture, the named Vulture, 3 Vulture droids, and then a generic droid tri-fighter.
I can never remember what those guys did, and I fought against them a few days ago, and still can't remember what they do. But I don't like that black guy, whatever his name.
Oh, the flak. Yeah, he's the one. Is if you activate, if you finish your activation at range 1, you take a damage. So, yeah, very nasty, very nasty. Yeah, it's if you want, you got to be very kind of. If you got snipe, fantastic. You can who cares? Who cares? But if you've got normal squadrons, you want to somehow attack him and then run off. But of course, if he's still there and you can't move, you're going to take a damage. He's like a bit of a Suntia Fel. So, yeah, very nasty squad.
So you've got the bid. Tell us your thinking. Are you thinking you're going to pick first or second? Tell us your objectives, but what are you thinking?
Well, I've got the ship count, so I think I'd probably want to go first. So I can go maybe first, last. I'm not quite sure. I'll just decide on the day.
Yes.
But I really, I'll see what I'll do, because I don't think. Yeah, it depends on. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much at the moment. I'm just trying to get everything else organised for myself and the streaming side of things. So, as I said, it's a bit of fun, and it'll be an interesting match for sure.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Table 8, rolling right on through. We've got another Nartuk list with Lachlan, Relent, Recusants.
Yep.
Recusants.
Recusants.
Patriot Fist. Another Recusant with Link Table 8. Another Recusant. So 4 Recusants.
4 Recusants. I love
no
it.
Squadrons. 400.
Now, Lachlan was playing a practice. Lachlan was playing a practice match with Trash in this one, and he was pretty impressed with Lachlan's list. So this is speed 3, in your face. Take blue and red dice, and red and black dice. Unless if you're Patriots Fist, you get some blues as well. So yeah, very nice.
And they've got those stupid front arcs, so they can guard each other's flanks. And all the rest of it is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, that's nasty.
So just line them all up and just pow.
Walker. Yeah.
Yep.
And he's got Raiken, assault frigate, an A. How often do we see assault frigate A's?
Wow.
Redundant shields and XI7s against Hammerhead torpedo with Gorell's Honor, MC-8 battle cruiser with Raiken on board, Overload Pulse, H9s, XI7s, and 3 squadrons. Kane and Hera. 3 B-Wing.
3
B-Wing.
Yeah. So another 5 squadrons.
Presumably. Oh, that's peculiar. All right. Well, that'll be an interesting idea. That battle cruiser is going to be pretty nasty, I think.
Yeah.
H9s and XI7s. Interesting.
Yeah. That's a very heavy hitting MC-80. Hello, Ian. Welcome. Hello there, General Monkey. How are we tonight? So we've got Ian just jumping in. We've got LTD tonight going over a list review on the next tournament. Do It Again, Uncle Raddus. And we've got how many players? 22, was it?
22 players.
Lovely.
Yes.
So, so your thoughts on that matchup there?
Look, I'd put my money on the Recusants.
Yeah.
I was just going to run through everything and just rip them to shreds.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's where I'd put my money. I think that battle cruiser will take one out. It's going to be there for fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The squadrons, I know Lachlan's got no squadrons, but the B-Wings are going to take their time to get there. Hera will make them rogue, and that's really it. So, yeah, Kanan will give him a raid token with assault, and you don't really see a lot of Kanan. So, again, got a very interesting list, and if it does something, I like to get this on stream and see how it goes.
Yeah. Right. I think my money's on the Recusant. I think it's going to roll forward and smash things a bit.
Absolutely.
Right, table 9.
Yep.
We've got Cooper Tub. He's got a Moff Gerard list, and here's our first Superstar Destroyer.
There we go.
So assault prototype with a whole bunch of stuff on it. You don't need to know all the things, but Moff Gerard's on it.
Yep.
And gunnery teams, of course.
Yep. And Director Krennic on it. Yep.
And a gladiator with projection experts. So the goal is to keep that Superstar Destroyer alive, presumably.
Yep. Pump some
and
shields.
No squadron, 400 points.
Yeah, and got repair crews, so take away any damage cards and the projection experts from the glad. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Moff Jerry for the turns, Admiral Ozzel for the start. You can use Vader to choke Ozzel for the rerolls, Krennic as well for the rerolls, because you're going to have gunnery teams and Ravager. Yeah. And Spinal. Interesting for Spinal armament there.
Interesting list. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, that's an interesting list.
Yeah.
And he's up against Andrew B, who's, fairly well known to us, I think, as a regular player in
Yes.
stuff.
He's one of the regulars in the Outer Rim. Funny enough, he lives near the city. He calls himself the Outer Rim. So
Even though he's on the Inner Ring. Okay.
that's it. He lives in the core worlds, but he decides to come and play with us in the Outer Rim.
Oh, that's very nice. Agate list with a Starhawk Battleship 1, Intel's Gate Control and H9's Amity. 190 points a ship, which would look like a lot, except that the assault prototype he's facing is 310.
Yeah.
So he's got a Nebulon B with Salvation, and some stuff. He's got transports, 2 transports, comms nets, and expanded hangar bays, and a bunch of A-wings, Tara Bay and Tiger Selcher. So 6 A-wings altogether.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a very. If Ian's watching, and that's an Ian squadron right there. Charo, Tycho, 4 A-wings. Perfect.
He's annoying that way, isn't he?
Yeah.
But how long do they last against the Superstar Destroyers black?
Oh, Charo, Tycho would.
Charo and Tycho could, yes.
Yeah.
The others are just going to be swatted aside rapidly.
Yeah. Look. The A-wing. The best thing about A-wings, they just flow black dice, and if you got no squadrons, black dice just against ships is just almost consistent. And I've seen it so many times when someone has a squadron of A-wings. I'm looking at you, Ian. That's right. They murder something. So look, the generics will go down, yes, but yeah, of course, what happens in the movies. That's right, Ian. A-wings have a history of taking SSDs down. So, I see that happening. The same thing in there from the Return of the Jedi. So, A-wings for the win.
You think? All right. I wouldn't like to dare to guess on that one.
I just Starhawk, A-wings. It's gonna be a hard slog for the Starhawk. Will it kill the SSD? Maybe half points. Yes, I'd say half points easy. But it just depends on. It's going to be the squadrons as well. So yes, we know, Ian, it's not about the movies when you play. We're not talking about you. You're not in this tournament. Go away.
Is he actually talking or just typing?
He's typing on the chat. So.
All right. That's why I can't hear what he's saying.
No.
All right.
He's in the comments.
So we come to table 10 then. We've got Ian Campbell. He's a Turtlenator, another good New Zealanders, one of our regulars in our tournament.
Absolutely.
And he's called his list IGs for life. And here's our other Superstar Destroyer.
Oh, 2. Wow.
A whole bunch of stuff. Emperor Palpatine. A whole bunch of stuff, which I'm not going to go through. 284 points on that one. So the command prototype. The other one was the assault prototype.
So this is the cheaper version.
The cheaper one. Okay. He's got a Gazanti with repair crews. He's got a Gazanti with munitions resupply. And he's got 3 squadrons. IGs, 88 and 88B, and Tel Trahura, who's a painful piece of thing. But only 59 points. That's an interesting little list.
It is, again, 3 squadrons, and of course the SSD.
IGs for life,
3 squadrons.
Oh, the IG-88. That's what it means. Okay.
Yeah, so the 2 IGs and then Tel. Tel's awesome. Love Tel.
Yeah.
Or, a scatter ace escort for 17 points that comes back to life. Totally worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But of course,
Interesting stuff.
sorry.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Superstar Destroyers. I thought we were done with those guys, but they're
No. They're coming back. They're
back.
good. Like if you did watch some of the tournaments, last month's tournaments, I think it was the Lone Star tournament. The SSD came second in a major tournament. So yeah, they're still live and kicking. And to take the command prototype instead of the assault one, interesting choice because it throws the same dice as an ISD2 from the front. So really taken. It's got flak guns on it. Wow, I love it. And of course it has to have fire control. So it's a salvoing SSD. So it's going to be very. I would like to see again another list. I like to see and how it goes with salvo on it.
Okay, and he's up against Shane Vandenherk.
Yeah. Another outer rim boy.
Yeah, okay. He's flying some Republic, so I'll let you go through this list.
So he's flying a Venator 1 with Tarkin, Rax, Link Turbo Laser Towers, and Tranquility. So it's another Venator as well, Clone Navigation Officer, External Rax, and Link Turbo Laser Towers, of course, with Resolute. Acclimator 2 with Thermal Shields, Link Turbo Lasers, and Implacable. Pelter with Clone Navigation Officer. Projection Exits, Munitions Resupply, and TB-73, and no squadrons. So basically, the Acclimator 2 is going to be up and close to whatever ship's being attacked. So it can take those hits away from the Venators. Tranquility will move shields, and Resolute will give you tokens, whatever you need. So, and of course, the Pelter handing out tokens as well with an extra evade. I think it's the extra evade title on there too. So, yeah, very interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So can 2 larges and a medium take out a Superstar Destroyer?
That, yeah, 2 larges, a medium, and a small. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Venator ones only have 3 reds and 3 blacks, so they have to get up and close and personal to do some major damage onto the SSD. But he's got no ECMs or no thermals, so especially with the dice that thrown out by the SSD with the reds and blues, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah. Okay.
It's doable, but it's gonna be a world of hurt before he gets in there, I'd say.
A 2-point bid for Ian. So yeah, I'll probably put my money on.
Yeah, I'll put.
But I don't know. If the SSD goes down, that's the whole list. So that's the other thing. He doesn't got a lifeboat. He's got no way of.
True. Absolutely. So yeah, he's got repair crews, so he's get those tokens back. So Palpatine, of course. Lyra gets rid of damage as well too. So a bit of damage mitigation there. So Ian's a very solid player, experienced player. Shane's is one of the outer rim guys. He's just started getting to Armada, so of course it's a bit of a learning curve, and of course I take the experience what he has, Ian has. So a nice game to watch, but I'll give my tip to the veteran player there.
And the other thing to note is that the New Zealanders are 2 hours ahead of us, so by the time they're playing, it's late at night for them, and their brains have stopped working. So that's an advantage to us Australians.
Sure,
we get to play it, pleasant evening, and they get to play really late at night. So yeah, we'll take every advantage we can.
Of course, absolutely.
This is the Onager.
This is the Onager, yes.
On the tables, there's an Onager testbed with Ramadi and Ozzel, Gunnery Chief, veteran gunners, and orbital bombardment particle cannons, which you would think come stapled to these things, but apparently not always. And a Cataclysm. 139 points for a nasty piece of work.
Mm-hmm.
And an ISD Kaimun with Tour and Intensified Firepower gunnery teams. dual tableizer turrets, sovereign, and
nice.
electronic countermeasures. So that's a
So I can see what's happening here. So he's.
fair boost.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, I
No,
jumped
you
in.
can go. I will say with Gazanti then, with Hondo and Comsnet, Gazanti with Darth Vader missions resupply, and 8 TIE fighter squad.
This is an very nice list. I like this one. So he's going to pop Hondo to get Cataclysm, and then he's going to give whatever token to the Simoon. Then Sovereign kicks in, and then changes. You can change that token into a concentrate fire, then intensify firepower for that first shot with the test bed with Admiral Ozzel pointing wherever you want the test bed to go, and a guaranteed hit. So, very nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Red dice ahoy.
Red dice ahoy. Red dice ahoy. Yes, ahoy. Sorry.
Ahoy.
8 TIE fighter squadrons. Yeah. Anyway, I think that'll be
Yeah.
very tasty.
Yeah. Just
So here's our only Onega. So, and he's got a bid of nothing.
Nothing.
He's got no bid.
Oh. Okay. I just realised who was against.
But he's up against me. He's up against me. So Uncle Raddus returns. So having won the last tournament with Uncle Raddus, I thought I'll give him another go. So, but I changed my list a little bit.
Yes.
So the same flagship from the last one, Corvette A with Admiral Raddus on, engine tech, turbolaser rear out circuits, Janus Light, 87 points, which is a fair bit, but it works.
Yeah.
And then that's the only deployment plus the squads. This cruiser this time. My cruiser I took last time, I wasn't really happy with it. I must have designed it in a rush and didn't think about it. But anyway, ordnance cruiser with Ramus Antilles, ordnance experts, ECMs, external racks, and profundity. And dropping out of the profundity is just a hammerhead torpedo with ordnance and external racks.
You dropped Grail's on her.
I've dropped Grail's on her.
Yep.
Squadrons, I've got 131 points of squadrons, all rogues. Corrin, Ketsu, Lando, and 4 YTs.
Oh.
So I dropped. Grail's requires you to ram the opponent to get use out of it, and then you're stuck there.
Yep.
And I found that I was losing that torpedo corvette more often than I wanted to, and that cost me in the activation game later on.
Yep.
So the plan now is he's just going to shoot his dice and run and try and survive at speed 3, and maybe come back for an attack late in game, maybe turn 5 or something like that. The ordnance cruiser, I really missed having electronic countermeasures, but then you have to reactivate it every time. So I thought, I'll take Ramus, and Ramus will give me the countermeasures working every turn.
Yeah.
If I'm repairing, I just get that token and get my ECMs back. Is the plan. And the Corvette's just there to deliver the ordnance cruiser and the hammerhead wherever I want it to. So deploying at speed 3, I can go to effectively speed 5. I can dodge on arcs. I can do all sorts of wonderful things.
Yeah.
And I can choose to go left or right or up the middle and drop where I need to drop. And the rogues are there to finish off anyone at the end who's still going. So that's the plan with a 9-point bid. I think there's one list that...
Yes, it was 390.
There was one at 390 and another one at 391. So I've got the bid, so I can pretty much say I'm going to go first whenever I can, so that my torpedo corvette can blow things up and run away, and the MC-75 tries to survive long enough to get his shot off and then activate first the next turn and then fly off into the dust of whatever it is that blew to bits.
Nice.
And that's basically the plan. It's pretty simple.
Yeah. 131 of rogues. They're just nasty rogues, especially Lando. Lando's just absolutely nasty. So and Ketsu as well.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate Ketsu. Like people think Ketsu's a lot of points, but what she can do, she's a bomber. She's a rogue. Got grit. It's got scatter. So it's got all these nasty little toolkits. It can be a fighter and a bomber at the same time.
Yes. And she can slow people down so they can't get as far away if they've got grit themselves and all the rest of it. Anytime it's not getting away.
Yeah, anytime I see Ketsu, I'm just like, ugh, I don't like Ketsu. Don't like her at all.
And I found with my other list, I had an extra 2 YTs and a Lancer, and the Lancer just died every time.
Yeah.
Need the
Yeah, you don't see a lot of generic lancers. So that was when I saw that your list in the last tournament. It's like, oh, I need a lancer. So I presume you just, because it's 15 points, was it, instead of 16?
That's right, 15 points.
So you wanted that extra 1 point for something. I presume. Maybe I'm thinking
with a VCX instead, because he's also 15 points.
And
then the VCX allows you different objectives if you end up being second. But I'm not bidding for second. I'm bidding for first.
Right, of course.
Here we go. So I've had enough of my Raiken list, and I've had enough of my Akbar list, so now I'm trying Uncle Raddus.
Nice.
We'll see how he goes.
All right, David.
If Uncle Raddus does it again, we might have to do it a third time.
Well, we'll talk. We'll talk about the third time sometime later. I want to make sure we get this tournament out of the way, but something big is coming. Stay tuned for that. And I'll announce that a bit later on, not today, but in a couple of weeks' time when I have some further information. But stay tuned. Something big is coming from me here.
Yep.
So
awesome. Very good.
All right, David.
Then we'll just keep having regular tournaments online until we can get back to real life.
Absolutely. All right, David. Who's all right? Apart from yourself, I know you've got your money on yourself winning this one. Who's your roughie? Who do you think is gonna surprise you and come close?
Well, that's an embarrassing question because I hadn't thought about it because I've never occurred to me. The one who I was worried about is the guy we kicked out of the tournament. So Mac.
Oh, Mac. Yeah.
Mac from Candia. His list, I looked at and went, "Oh, that'll be really nasty."
What was his list anyway?
He had a whole bunch of squads and bombers and everything. He had full 134 points of Imperial squads and the whole thing.
Right.
Right. So he looked pretty nasty. And I think there's something about us Australians that we don't like squads.
No.
And hardly any of us have got the full squad list out. I think there's probably 2 or 3 lists of more than 130 points of squads.
Yeah.
There's something about us where we don't like the squads.
We like to play big ships.
We do, and we like big ships going fast, running at each other, and I think that we need to, if we're going to be competitive internationally, we need to learn how to do the fighter stuff. So yeah, I don't know. The short answer is I don't think I can see myself killing that pretty easy. I can see myself killing that pretty easy. So there's some things I look at and go, well, he's going to outbid me. What am I going to do? Probably Steve Gibb. Got me a little bit worried with his Akbar and matching me in the bid. That's probably it. Everyone else has got these tiny little. If you've got 30 points of fighters, or 60 points of fighters, well, I'll just kill them and run away. I don't need to even kill ships. I'll just kill the fighters and say, that's it, I've won.
Sure.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, look, for me,
horribly arrogant of me, and that's why I'm trying to be horribly arrogant because I want you people to do better. Come on, get better, you people. Fight me, you swine, etc.
My pick is Mick. Mick, I think, is really, with his Imperial Archon list, his squadrons is a little bit interesting. It's 105 squadrons, so over the 100 points that does it. So he's my roughie for getting close, I'd say. Basically, Trash as well. Trash does really well with his hammerheads. Steve is an experienced expert of Armada. He'll be up there as well. So it'll be, again, interesting who does take it out. But very interesting.
Look, smart money's on me. You'd bet on me.
Yes, of course. Well, how many tournaments have you won now?
Look, I don't know, a couple. A couple. Yes.
So look, I'm just keeping it,
so I can go somewhere.
Just keeping it friendly here, keeping it interesting. Seeing, you never know. You might.
Look, of course, you never know. Yes, you never know.
If
I have a brain fart and do the wrong thing, or do this or that, or my dice just fail me, or whatever.
Like you almost did the last time on the stream.
Yes, like I did last time, and people can watch me almost ruin my chances there.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for talking this through. It's been fun, and everything we can do to
no worries, David. Thanks.
Need to learn to fight against those lousy Candians.
Thanks so much, David, for joining us tonight. Awesome way to go through the lists here. As we said, this is 22 players, one of the biggest TTS Armada tournaments here run in Australia. So big thank you for you, David, for setting this up and making this happen.
No worries.
And we'll have our first game of Do It Again, Uncle Raddus TTS Armada tournament very shortly in half an hour's time. It'll be Trash versus Stephen with coming very shortly, so at 8:30. So in about half an hour's time. Thanks again for our guest, Mr. LTD himself, Mr. Task Force Orange, David. Thank you for giving us your list, your rundown of the lists.
Thanks, Mars. Good night, everybody.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, like, subscribe, enjoy it. Follow us on the socials. I'm trying to change that one. Follow us on the socials and fly casual.